business for the evening. We could go into a question from the audience. And as you'll note when you came in, there is a question period etiquette bulletin up at the front door, which I'll read the bullet points from it. And all questions from the audience are directed to the chair, myself. Upon receipt of a question from the floor, the chair will choose to either respond directly to the question or delegate it to another trustee. All questions must be pertinent to official board and/or Union Bay Improvement District business. And if you are deemed not to be speaking to these issues presently on the floor, or if your question is considered to be in contravention of item number 3 above, the chair will rule your remarks out of order. And then we'll move on to the next question or part of the meeting. If an individual is ruled out of order a second time, that individual will be asked to exit the meeting. So we appreciate your participation in any questions from the floor.
I have a question.
Yes.
I was wondering if you had noticed the recent article about Salt Spring Islands trustees, about conflict of interest.
I'm afraid the question has nothing to do with today's business. I'm not aware of it. Jerry.
Yeah, my question is, I'm looking at your rules and regulations here. It's more of a procedure. It ties right in with your question period etiquette, actually. This is just a general kind of a comment and possibly a question involved in it too. Is some of us, including myself, my hearing's getting worse as I get older, and I'm still finding when I come to these meetings, unfortunately, I miss a lot of what's being said. And subsequently, you probably noticed I haven't been at too many meetings lately for a variety of reasons. You know, I haven't been feeling so well also, but more than anything is I find it real difficult to hear some of the things that are being said, and subsequently it makes it difficult then to actually know what's going on and whatever. So I was just wondering if there's any, just a suggestion, would it be possible to use the mic more often, or yeah, because it just, a lot of you have very soft voices, and I'm hearing half of what's being said, and so just an idea, and I think it's even worse in the activity room downstairs because of low ceilings and whatever. So just an idea, just if there's a possibility of using the mic more often, I think it might encourage more people that have bad hearing to come out.
I'll tell you, Jerry, that's been brought up before, and I think during the meeting, if you can't hear, I think the board would be quite prepared to listen to somebody say, "Would you please speak up?" As long as it's,
yeah, or
use the microphone.
Yeah.
It's a very small room, and
yeah,
to be quite frank, I thought everybody could hear, and I know some people do speak a little softly, but I don't think anybody at the table here would be abashed if somebody said, "Could you please speak up or use the microphone?"
Yeah. No, I'd just like to say,
thanks, sir.
The way I look at it is, you know, we've always prided ourselves in trying to get more participation, and I think that just might be another way of, you know, whatever, because like I said, there's been a couple times I've come away from the meetings and just go, I got half of what was said, right? So.
Are there any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes, Mary?
Yes, why don't you just automatically say that you'll use the microphone instead of waiting for someone to tell you that they can't hear? Because they've already missed something by then. Why don't just make it a practice that everybody uses it? Alan speaks with his hand in front of his mouth. No offense, Alan.
Oh, we're trying to encourage that. The next meeting, we're not to make a motion, but yeah, I will try to encourage everybody to use the microphone. That's not a problem. I kind of under the impression that most people could hear, but that's fine. And we'll certainly try and do that.
I think we have a problem with the portable mic. Yeah, the portable mic unfortunately is not the most reliable. It does tend to cut out, so obviously we have the wired one here, which is more than sufficient, and it will certainly reach across both tables, so we'll definitely make sure.
I'm sure it might take a few more minutes, but I just think that it might improve the feedback that you get.
Thank you.
Maybe it would be worthwhile considering kind of a link to each table to say pass them to four if the portable doesn't work.
Excuse me, I think you're breaking your rules.
Suggestions.
Yes.
On the question of not hearing everything, could I ask what time the meeting commenced? Because I arrived at 4:32 and we were already halfway through the agenda.
4:30.
It took you 2 minutes to get down to the Public Works
Well,
report?
it didn't take very long. There wasn't a lot of business.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
First, with respect to item 6, you're talking about writing a letter to Ships Point and the rest of them with respect to the effects of the water. What is the board's position with respect to the positive economic benefits of putting in a coal mine?
The board hasn't taken a position on that.
Well, I would like to suggest that when you write a letter, you don't indicate that you fully support the water question without putting in the fact that bringing industry to this area at this time of the provincial and federal economy is positive.
So you're saying the board should take a positive position on supporting the coal mine? Is that what you're saying?
No, but I think you should include in your letter a reference to the fact that industry should come into the valley for the good of the valley.
I guess that can be undertaken.
Just think about it.
It's not we're not gonna stress the fact that we're supporting it. We certainly support, I think, growth and any industry that's coming into the valley. Whether it's acceptable and sustainable to the valley, that's another question. So we take that into consideration. I guess if we'll draft that letter, Kevin? Any other comments on
wording?
Hmm?
What protections the premium thing here? It's no good. I think I'm asking to come. It's fine passing a comment. The key thing here is water. We're supporting Ships Point and Planny Bay in terms of retaining clear water. If their water is poisoned by virtue of the mine, they'll be out of action. Then where are they going for water? Is the mine going to supply them with water? They're probably going to come to us for our water. And do we have enough to supply them? Good question, with everything that's sort of agreed to so far. It's a very difficult question. I hear what you're saying. My concern is the water. I'm not making judgment on the mine being good or bad. I know we need industry in this valley, but is it the right industry? Maybe electronics industry would be a better industry, which is environmentally a lot less sensitive.
Any other comments, Joe?
No, I made a suggestion that when you're replying, you do indicate that as part of the consideration, the economy should be taken into account.
Thank you very much for your comment. Yes,
I'm
Teresa?
wondering because I'm not sure procedurally if this would be feasible, but clearly everybody's going to have an opinion one way or the other regarding the mine, sort of a hot button issue. Would it be feasible at the next general election to have just have a question at the bottom, or are you for or against raising mine? Not for any, but just to take the temperature of the community. Is that feasible?
I don't think that's a position that the community, do we want to take that position?
It's not taking a position, it's asking.
No, go ahead, Carol. Yeah, absolutely.
We've had quite a lot of discussion amongst the board about the whole Raven issue. And I think because there's a difference of opinion on the board, some of us are more supportive of the economics and the mine itself than others. The position that we all agreed on was that we were all in favor of protecting our water. And that's the position that we have said all along, is that regardless of whether we agree on the economics or coal mines in general or any other aspect of it, we all feel a huge obligation to protect our water. So that's what we have been promoting. And personally, I think that reflects the community too. I mean, I think there are people in the community that support having an industry here like a coal mine. And there are clearly people in the community that are very opposed to the whole notion of it. So, and our mandate is water. Our mandate is not the economic viability of the valley.
Right.
Quite correct. Well spoken.
Yeah, well said.
Bill?
I'd like to comment that I'm very pleased with the speed at which the board responded to the water and the logging up the hill there, and the concern we had as far as maybe going to be doing some logging in the watershed on it. I'm surprised that you got it all, you had a meeting that fast. That's excellent.
Well, they responded really quickly. They were
Yeah.
very cooperative. I think they certainly indicated they were prepared to work with us and, you know, with our watershed and protecting our water. That's what I said, David.
Now, one side question would be then that if we got into trouble with the logging company and they were going to want to do it regardless of what we did, we could get the other municipalities to join us and support us.
Well, once again, that's what we've been doing.
To protect the
last
water?
year. We've been trying to work with Ships Point
Yeah.
and Fannie Mae and, you know, you can work better together the larger the group that you have. And I'm sure they will support us and if that were to come about and happen. So they've been very cooperative.
In that eventuality, we could go to the drink, if we felt that the water in the lake was going to be badly affected,
Yeah.
we could go to the drinking water officer and make a
Yes.
claim to him to stop the logging if we felt it was in a particularly bad location.
Good.
At the point in time when we get filtration, the issue won't go away, but it will be greatly diminished. But until we get filtration, we need to minimize the impacts of materials coming into the lake.
Yes, Dave?
During your meeting with Island Timberlands, was there any discussion on the lands that were previously discussed for the permanent site by the intersection of the McLeod Road and the highway? In particular, Island Timberlands was very interested in providing that land to the community in consideration of the fact that it would allow them more flexibility in some of their operations in the future. This may have been buried in some file somewhere, but I just wanted to ask if any of that came up at your meeting, or was it strictly just the work in the watershed?
No, it was brought up previously, and we had a meeting talking to them about that, and we looked at a piece of property, and it was for sale, and we're now looking at our other options. So yes, we did look at it with them, and we're looking at other options right now. So it has been discussed. Thank you. Any other questions?
This has got nothing to do with the water or anything.
No.
This is a walking people in Union Bays. This is just an information thing. On the Kensington's property up there, and at the top of the hill, there's a fellow with a gun. He's drinking beer, and he's got a dog. And he's, we've come upon him 3 times now. Jerry will verify this, and his wife will verify it twice. So if anybody's walking around, he's drinking beer, he's got a gun, and he tries to not really hide the gun, but put it down beside him when anybody comes around. So I don't know if anything can be done.
All you do is report that to police, Dale. There's
Yeah.
nothing we can do about it. There's, you know, if you see him or if
Yeah,
anybody.
but I don't want to get shot
No,
because, you know.
no, nobody wants to
When I
get
go
shot.
and report him to the police, and the guy's half drunk and says, "You son of a gun," you know,
Well, that's all you can do, and that's all that,
you couldn't put it in down by the bay or anything, eh?
No, maybe just to support what Dell's saying, I think we're just concerned that if somebody does see him lot of times he also has a vehicle, he drives a, what does he drive? Toyota SUV, and on 2 or 3 occasions now, he has been drinking, and he actually waved his gun at us one time, and so all we're saying is that.
He has a gun right at Jerry's head, and
So-
he brought it right around.
So we're just saying is that if I think people have to be aware that this man is, and you're right, Bruce, I think it has to be phoned into the RCMP.
Well, every time it happens,
As soon as you get home, boy, boom,
Yeah.
don't piss around, pull right out.
Yeah.
I have a question.
yes, Mary.
I would like you to redo these because everything that's happened here tonight, nobody's abiding by your rules.
Those are my rules, and I will administer them as I see fit.
I know.
Thank you.
I think it was just information.
Exactly where is that, Jim?
Actually, where we've seen him mostly is at the golf course.
And he's the one's up the hill. One's up the hill. He's got a German Shepherd. Even his mate is doing that. And his wife is like
It's me. Everybody else can do it. See that?
That's what I mean, everybody's out, I'm out there every day. And you're running to him, you know.
So you're just doing it as a community alert?
Yeah, something like that, you know, I just don't wanna see anybody get shot, but I don't wanna be pulling the police and him get my name. Next thing I know, some guy's knocking at my door, you know.
Are there any other questions? Would you like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?